Greetings, good people. Baldhead Hierophant here. Thanks for visiting with me. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. Please stay, like the content, and subscribe, okay? And if you are returning, thank you so much to my supporters. You know, I appreciate you guys. There's no words to express how much I appreciate those of you who return, even though you don't comment. I want y'all to begin to comment and interact with me because I have so much good information to share with you guys, and a lot of it comes through Q&A. So if you have questions, please feel free to always drop them down in the comment section, okay? Hope everyone's having a beautiful Monday. A good day to, you know, always work on thyself. And when I say work on thyself, let me say this, because when I think sometimes people think when you're working on yourself, that denotes that something's wrong. No, that doesn't mean that something's wrong. That only means that there's always room to get better. There's always room to focus on certain areas that you, not necessarily have backslid in, but I mean, we're not perfect. We're human. Okay. So we dropped the ball. So Mondays are just good days to go over things that we know we still need a little work on. So that's what I mean when I say it. Outside of that, we are already totally perfect. We are already totally whole. We are already totally in alignment, okay? And if we can just control that ego, if we can just make sure that we temper that, then we can walk fully in that divinity on a regular basis, considering that we're constantly doing the work, because there's infinite levels to godhood and goddesshood and self-mastery, okay? So just doing the work, that just means staying in tune, okay, and attuned to thyself at all times, never taking your eye off of you. And a lot of times we're distracted, and that's done on purpose, you guys. I hope you understand what the big distraction is, the great diversion, okay? It's not to have you thinking about things that even really support you, or things that even will assist you on your journey. It literally is to divert your attention to things and to take it off of you. And people fall for that okie doke all the time. The media does it so much. Social media does it so much. You know, all the mess that's going on are all ploys and plots to remove you from staying focused on you, okay? So anyway, that is not what the topic of discussion is today. The topic of discussion is polarities. The polarities of our sun sign, okay? So during readings, when I give my readings, I normally try to enlighten people just a little bit on their opposite energy, okay? Because a lot of times in my readings, I'm going to bring up your sun sign. I'm going to bring up your moon sign. I'm going to bring up your rising, okay? And if you don't know how to even calculate that, you have to go and get a thing called a natal chart. I do them. I'll discuss more about that a little later. But before most readings, I'm able to pull a person's natal chart. If they've already had their natal chart pulled, then I just ask them, you know, do you know your moon? Do you know your sun? Do you know your rising? Do you know your Venus? Depending on what type of reading they're getting, okay? But when I'm doing a general reading and a person just wants to know who am I, what am I, where am I going, you know, all of that good stuff, when we are on that journey, a lot of times it's imperative to know, excuse me, y'all, I feel like I got an eyelash in my eye. It's imperative to know your polar opposite. Okay, now I'm going to use myself as an example. I am a Taurus sun, which means I am polarized by Scorpio. That means that I have a little bit of Scorpio in me as well, even though the sun, the season of the sun, was in Taurus when I was born. But what was on the other opposite end of that wheel is and was and will always be Scorpio. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Now, this is my own personal opinion, my disclaimer right here. If you don't believe in what I'm about to say, or if you don't feel what I'm about to say is truth, that's okay, okay? Everybody has the right and the free will to believe and not believe whatever it is that they choose. I follow what works for me. through experience, through research, and through just watching human behavior, okay, because that's what I do to gather up a lot of my conclusions, okay, and a lot of my theories comes from just observation. But in my opinion, that shadow self that you hear people talk about is the opposite side of your sun sign. So my shadow self is very scorpionic. When I am dealing with some of my darker versions of myself, I'm dealing with Scorpio energy. I have a lot of Scorpio in me, on the other side of the sun. Okay, the light that's not shining is Scorpio. Okay, so, and I'm comfortable with that. These are things that I know. I'm just using my own chart as an example so you guys can begin to understand the totality of you. You're not just your sun sign. Okay, even with your moon sign. Okay, I am a Capricorn moon, but that energy is balanced by Cancer, because Capricorn is right across from Cancer, okay? So we're balanced by a lot of stuff. We're not just one thing, or we're not just one sign. That's why I beg to question people when they go to the doctor and them doctors tell them they bipolar, and I'm saying, oh, shame on that doctor for not telling you everything that you're made of. Shame on that doctor for not telling you that you have the ability to channel in and out of different energies. Shame on that doctor for not educating you on how to successfully use these energies. The bipolar energy is there as a blessing, okay? Because we show up differently for different situations, okay? Who you are when you're with your friends is not who you are when you're around your grandmama. And who you are when you're with your man ain't who you are when you're at work with your male boss. And who you are with your child ain't who you are when you're with your man or your woman or your wife or your husband. You see what I'm saying? So our energies are so interchangeable. Okay, how you handle a situation when your best friend makes you mad, it's not how you're going to handle the situation if a complete stranger does that same thing that your best friend did. You're not going to handle that the same. Different energy is going to talk to that best friend versus the stranger that did it. Okay, you're going to handle something totally different depending on what it is, who it is, when it is, where it is. Do you get what I'm saying? You catch my drift? So we're all bipolar by nature because we're supposed to be. Bipolarization, and we really could call it tri or quadruple or sextuplet. Who know? You know, because there's many. It's not just two. Bi means two. That we have more than just one other personality in us. We have more than two. So we're not even just limited to bipolar, multipolar. And if it's done right, if you're educated on it, if you know this, then you're able to control it, okay? And you know how to work with the energy that is exuding through you at that moment that something different has shown up, okay? So I'm going to really quickly, go through the zodiac sign and tell everybody who is who and what is what, and then I'll get back on with explaining a little bit of it. So let's start with Aries. Aries is balanced with Libra energy. So we're talking about Aries, the sign of self, okay, being balanced with Libra, the sign of partnership, okay? So there's some of you that may be selfish if you are an Aries sun, but you're balanced, okay, with that Libra energy that also knows how to share, okay? Now, the dark side, I guess I'll go ahead and break each of them down as I'm talking about them. It's easier than to wait until I get to the end. If you are an Aries sun, then your dark side could be Libra. Okay, and how a dark Libra would move would be probably cheating. Okay, Libras are such whimsical people, and that's not a bad thing. Everybody loves Libras. Libras are so easy to love, okay? And they know this. That's one of their superpowers. So they have the ability to have you, and you'll think that this Libra is in love with each of you when literally they just have so much love to share that they love everybody. Hence, Lil Wayne is a Libra. And what is his song? I wish I could every girl in the world. Well, that is Libra's downside, a dark version of Libra. An Aries will be very territorial, very controlling, very possessive, but their dark side could be that they cheat. Behind that hard exterior, they're cheating sweethearts, okay? And that could be one. And I'm just giving one or two examples, okay? There's so much more, okay? Multifaceted energies I'm speaking about here. So that was just one, just to give you a understanding of what an Aries person would deal with their dark energy being a Libra, okay? So the next sign would be Taurus and Scorpio. Already spoke on that. Taurus being the sign of value and personal possessions, okay? Personal possessions, your body, my body, my money, my home, my house, my. It's an I have sign, okay? So we are very in tune with us. Okay, we don't really care much about what's going on outside of us. We're really into our personal possession, okay, in its entirety. Whereas Scorpio more so governs shared possessions, okay. The dark side to that could be theft, maybe, or secretly doing under table stuff with other people's stuff, okay? So that would be something that a Taurus sun would deal with out of the darker, tapping into that darker version. And and I actually should have went back and also did, if somebody has a Libra sun, what their dark energy would be with an Aries. So let me roll that beautiful bead footage back really quickly. If you are a Libra sun, then you're balanced with that Aries energy. And what your dark energy could be is you might be a little aggressive, violent, and impulsive behind the scenes. The dark shadow self. That dark shadow stuff that our demons. I'll just say that because it's easier for people to connect that. People know their demons. When you're fighting your demons, you're fighting the opposite side of that sun sign, okay? So that's what a Libra sun would be fighting, that violent streak that they have, okay? So now let me get back on point with Taurus and Scorpio. So I talked about Taurus and Scorpio. Let's talk about now Scorpio sun, Taurus, Taurus demon, Taurus dark energy. So the Scorpio person on the front street, it's going to be very given, very open, very, those are the ones who are going to drop at the drop of a dime. Do you need something? What do you need? What do you need? I can help. Let me help. Because Scorpio people like to help. They want to lend their attention and their whole existence to you. Okay. But on the flip side, their dark stuff, that their demon energy, what they could be battling with, okay, is being very selfish and very, if you don't do what it is that they, in the midst of them sharing with you, if you don't do what they want you to do with what they've shared with you, then you could see a very dark, bullyish energy come out of them, okay? So these energies live within us, y'all. They live within us, okay? So the very next one would be Gemini and Sagittarius. That's what balances one another. Gemini people, you're balanced with Sag energy. Sag people, you're balanced with Gemini energy. Gemini energy is going to be the sign of perfect self-expression, okay? Perfect self-expression. Sag is the sign of philosophy. They are self-philosophized people. They create their own rules. They create their own philosophy. So if you are a Gemini sun, your dark could be you think that you are the Almighty. You are the God. You want to take over everything. What you say reigns truth over everything and everybody. Nothing else that anybody else says matters, okay? That would be if you're Gemini with a Sag dark. If you're Sag sun, your Gemini dark is you finesse people. You manipulate people by the things that you say. And you know this. That dark side is things that we do knowingly and on purpose, okay? So if you are that Sag and your dark is Gemini, you are the kind of person who you're cunning. You say whatever needs to be said to get what you want. Okay. And a lot of times it's not lies. It's not fluff. Okay. It's just hella manipulation. Okay. Now, I'm only talking about that dark side. Okay. Maybe I need to go back and do some of the greater characteristics. But a lot of times when we're dealing with our dark side, those are not really great characteristics. Those are some of our idiosyncrasies. Okay. Some of the things that we battle with on the inside that we know we shouldn't do, but we do them because we have the power to do them. Okay. Because remember, on one shoulder sits that light angel and on one shoulder sits that dark angel. And we have access to both of those energies throughout the day, all day, every day. And Gemini people, you guys actually live in your duality effortlessly because you are represented by the two energies. And those two energies would be that yin yang, that duality. So out of all of the zodiac signs, a Gemini person actually flows in and out of this energy very, very effortlessly and frequently, okay? Which also gives Sagittarius people the opportunity to do the same thing, okay? Sag, you probably don't even know this about yourself. So if you're watching this, welcome to the other side of you, okay? But yes, you all have the exact same energy or the exact same abilities as Gemini because you're balanced. You guys balance one another, okay? So next on the scale is going to be Cancer, okay? Cancer and Capricorn. That's their beautiful dance of duality that they do. Cancer being the sign of the home life. Capricorn being the sign of the public life, okay? Cancer being very nurturing and loving, okay? Capricorn being very organized and want to see you plan, okay? If you're the Cancer sun, then your dark side would be that Capricorn energy that causes you to be a little dogmatic, detached at times, may not necessarily take every other people's emotions into consideration, okay? That's if you're Cancer sun with that Capricorn on that dark side, okay? Flip side, if you're Capricorn sun with that Cancer on the dark, then you could be very spiteful. That mood can change very, very quickly. If you feel like, and it's not even a feeling. I believe this is something that resides in us. So let me take that word back. This just resides. It's not if you feel like. There's just some days that we're moving in that dark self, okay? So for the Capricorn who's moving in that dark Cancer energy, you're just moody. You are, there's a certain word that's on the tip of my tongue and I can't, you're emotionally manipulative. Thank you, Spirit. I was struggling there. If you're Capricorn sun and your dark is in that Cancer, you're emotionally manipulative, okay? You bully people with your emotions, okay? You make decisions that are very dark and uncanny, okay? Based on that emotional manipulation. This is what you're able to do to other people, okay? Cancer sun dealing with that Capricorn on the dark would be somebody who, and I hate to say this, I'm sorry, Capricorn, but it is what it is. You guys can become a little energetically abusive, okay? Where on a normal basis, you're very nurturing because your Cancer is on the sunny side, okay? But when you're dealing with your dark side, Cancer, which would be Capricorn, there is a little dark, abusive energy in you that hurts people energetically. Okay, and like I said, you're emotionally manipulative, so you may the abuse may come verbally, it may come physically, and definitely energetically, and most definitely emotionally. So that's the dark demon energy that a Cancer or a Capricorn person would deal with. Okay, this is depending on which spectrum you're on. The next was going to be Leo and Aquarius. We know Leo is a very grand energy, so that's that personal pleasure and creative energy, okay? If you're Leo sun, then that's what's, you know, you were brought into this realm with all of that ta-da, okay? But if you are Aquarius, okay, remember, they're balanced on this wheel. They're balanced on this wheel. But if you are Aquarius, then you're the sign of hope and ideas, and you have this larger than life type of energy, okay? Now let's talk about that. If the Leo is on the sun and that Aquarius on the dog, okay? Leo on the sun, very passionate, very, very, very creative, very inspirational, very ambitious. But that dark Aquarian energy makes you do whatever you got to do to stay in the spotlight. So that causes you to be willing to do underhanded shit, okay? It'll cause you to do scheming type things, scam artist type things. That's your dark Leo. You'll do anything for clout. You'll do anything to stay on top. You'll do anything to stay in that limelight, okay? Now, let's talk about it from the opposite perspective. If you are Aquarius, okay, in the sun, and you got that Leo on that dark, okay? You'll do whatever it takes to stay, I'm the man, I'm that bitch, which still puts you right in the middle of being readily available to do dark things to stay confident, okay? Your confidence is connected, okay? With that Aquarius sun on the dark side, you struggle with your confidence. So you are willing to do whatever it takes so you can continue to look the part, okay? Now, I'm not calling nobody out. These are just real deal observations of polarization, our duality, okay? So that's what a Leo Aquarius individual would deal with. Again, depending on if you are the Leo sun or the Aquarius sun. Either way, you know what your darker side is and what your darker side leans toward when it's dealing with its demonic energy, its demons, okay? Because we all fight our demons. Nobody is demon free. We all battle them. Some have theirs on a short chain. Some have more control of theirs. Some walk easily and effortlessly with theirs, okay? Some don't have a clue and it's running them crazy. And then some willingly walk in their dark all the time. We know that from the stuff that we see on the news, all of the crime. So there's some people that's moving easily, effortlessly, and frequently in their dark energy, and they want to, okay? So it's so many different energies that you're dealing with when you are dealing with other people, okay? Another person, because it's not just, nobody is ever who you just see. Everybody is slick a Decepticon. More than meets the eye. So the very, very last one, let's talk about that Virgo on that Pisces, or that Pisces on that Virgo. Now, if you are the Virgo sun, then you are the sign of self-improvement, okay? The perfectionist. Nothing's ever good enough. You got to keep going, keep working, because you believe in a lot of self-work, okay? Self-improvement, self-acceptance, self-expression, perfect self. If you are Pisces, then you're like the sign of the dreams and the self-delusion, okay? Now let's talk about if you have Virgo on that sun and Pisces on that dark, okay? You're going to be doing the self-work, okay? But that dark side, you struggle. You struggle with self-esteem. You struggle with loving thyself. You struggle. You really, really struggle with acceptance of thyself. Okay? And that's not something that you show on the front street, because on the front street, everybody probably looks at you as the perfect picture of self-attainment. Okay? Because that's what the Virgo is. They're very, and not innocent, like, don't do nothing, but they just have a very pure, let me just say that, a very pure energy. Look at Beyonce, okay? You can look at some of these celebs. Check out these celebrities' sun signs, okay? And they'll kind of give you an inkling of what I'm saying if you just kind of really study them. Beyonce has this pure, innocent, I don't do nothing, I'm constantly working on, whoa. She looks like the perfect picture of self-attainment, like I said a few minutes ago. But on the flip side, on the dark side, I can tell you beyond the shadow of a doubt that Beyonce struggles with confidence. She struggles with perfection. She struggles with who she probably thinks that she is, okay? So, and if you're Pisces, I'm sorry, I was about to wrap it up. I need to go back. I'm sorry. If you're Pisces, your Pisces self, very in tune, very aligned, an old soul, able to you just kind of move in a very dreamy energy, okay? You are if those fish ain't confused, then you move in a very clarified energy, okay? A lot of times, one of the things that Pisces struggle with, I'm not talking about the dark side right now, just one of the things that a sun sign Pisces can get caught up in is being confused, not knowing what decision to make. A lot of times they're emotional, so their emotions become intertwined and intermingled, and they don't quite know what direction to go in, okay? But there are some that have mastered that. They've transmuted that. So they're very, their yays are yays and their nays are nays. But they can sometimes become a little delusional, okay? So when a sun Pisces is battling their dark Virgo energy, they lie to themselves, okay? They lie to themselves. They won't accept their truth. They don't walk in their truth, okay? They don't walk in reality. They're very, very zoned out, okay? Living a lie, living a facade, living in a very delusional state of mind, okay? On the front street, nobody would know this. If you're wherever your sun is, that's what everybody's going to think that you are, and think that you're dealing with on a regular basis, or think that you're moving in on a regular basis. Only you know that dark side that you are living in and amongst, okay? I think Rihanna is a Pisces, okay? And if you just pay attention to how she moves and the things that she's done, she's very shine bright like a diamond, okay? But on her flip side, I'm almost positive that she's areas of her life, she's the dark areas. She doesn't stay in, she's not grounded, I'll say that. She's very delusional. Now, I'm not talking about her money, okay? And I'm not talking about her fame. That's what's on the front street, okay? I'm talking about her dark stuff that nobody probably even knows that she deals with unless you are into what I'm into. So you just kind of automatically know that people deal with their polarizations, okay? The polarities. So her polarity, I'm almost sure that she lives in a fake world. Okay, she lives in a world of illusion. Oh, I know. She stays in her imagination. Okay, she stays and she's flighty. Okay, I'm sure that if things don't look how she wants them to look in her image faculty, she can flee. She'll easily flee. Okay, because that's one of the Pisces. I don't want to call it a downfall, but it is one of their one of their lesser attractive traits. Okay. So I've given a whole breakdown, okay? Aries, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Sagittarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Aquarius, and Pisces, Virgo, okay? So you can just check this stuff out in your own self, or if you have children or parents or your partner, look at all of the people around you and just compare it to what I've just, said here, okay? And there's so much more. I could go more in detail about this, but this was just a very rough draft about the polarities. But what one of the reasons that I decided to do this particular video is because I want people to become comfortable with thy whole self. Okay, I didn't mention your dark stuff so you could be like, ooh, I mentioned your dark stuff because it's a part of you too. Okay, as a Taurus sun with that Scorpio dark, I have to accept that when I'm angry, there's an undercurrent that I move in that is very vicious and vindictive and and if I have to go there, okay? And when I'm not moving in my light Venusian Tauran energy, when I'm alone, okay, when I am battling demons, okay, because we're not battling them every day, but when I have things that I am focused on that's not on the front street, is my scorpionic side. It's my shadow stuff. It's my dark side. And I have a very, 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 and I'm sure you can tell, okay? And those of you who may be following my channel that know me personally, you already know this about me. So I have a dark side, but we all have a dark side, okay? I just happen to be comfortable with mine, okay? Because I'm knowledgeable and I have her under control. So she doesn't rule me. I tell her when to come to the front, okay? And if she does happen to make her way to the front, then I still control how much she controls me. Actually, she's never in control of me. If I give her the wheel and allow her to drive, then I'm just taking the back seat and letting her breathe. Because let me tell you something about smothering that dark side. If you don't allow your shadow self to breathe, if you don't allow your shadow self to come out and express itself, it'll take you over. Because what's happening is that shadow self is down there saying, hey, talk to me, deal with me, let me be seen, let me come out. Hey, I wanna show who I am. I wanna show up through you too. And you like, you're trying to push it down. No, I'm not dealing with you. No. So what happens is the same thing that happens when you push a bottle underwater. And if you get caught slipping and you move your hand and let it up, what happens? It pops up like a jack in the box. So if you constantly check in with that darker version of yourself, you good, you right, you need some air, you need some water, when you check in with that other side of yourself, then you don't have to worry about pressure building up under it and then it busting out and taking you completely over. I have seen this happen to people where they totally deny their shadow self, and then they get to a certain point in life or get to a certain age or something happens, and then bow, they freaking lose it. And to everybody else, it looks like, oh my gosh, she lost her mind, but he lost it. But somebody like me who's knowledgeable, I'm like, she's having a dark night of the soul. Or he's having a dark night of the soul, baby, because when that energy wants to come up, If it's bubbling up, you better make room and let it come out. Just stay in control of it. Just walk with it. I don't believe in living separately from myself. I walk with my dark energy. I walk with my shadow. It's not I'm way up there and my shadow's way back there. Oh no, I walk in alignment with my whole self, okay? Mind, body, and spirit. All right, y'all. So I hope you enjoyed this polarity vid. If you have questions, if you want to find out what you are, which I made it very easy, you guys, you know who you know your sun sign, and as long as you know your sun sign, then you know what you are polarized by. But if by chance you want more information, drop it down in the comment sections. Again, I would love for you guys to begin to interact, ask questions, and if you don't, that's fine too. There's so much information on what I just talked about out there, so you can actually Google if you are a Googler. Go to the library, the bookstores, buy books on this stuff. You know, this is not, you know, I wish I could say that I created this stuff, but I didn't. This is information that's available to you. I just happen to have studied it for years. So, you know, I just have it all here. Okay. But if you want to learn more about it, go study it, research it, learn thyself. In all of thy getting, get understanding of thyself. If this is where we part, then I thank you so much for watching this video in its entirety. May you get it all back. May you get all that energy and time back. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back very, very soon with another video. Peace and namaste.